Hello and welcome, my dear friend. This message found you exactly right on time. Because what's happening in your life right now isn't a trick, it's not a phase, and it's definitely not a coincidence. You didn't stumble into this version of yourself. You conjured it, cell by cell, choice by choice, heartbreak by heartbreak. You've become the thing others only talk about, the thing they try to perform, mimic, or repackage. But you actually are it. And I know that might sound bold. But let me tell you the truth straight. You're not pretending to be the magician anymore. You are the magician. And no, not the magician they show in stories, desperate for applause, hiding secrets up their sleeve. You're the real kind, the kind that remembers. You carry a kind of genius in your energy. Not because of how much you know, but because of how clearly you see. People underestimate you because you let them. You keep your brilliance folded, quiet. You observe more than you explain. You stay still so the world can reveal itself. And what a strange world it's become. Loud, distracted, desperate for validation. But you're not caught in that noise anymore, because something changed. Something ancient in you woke up. Maybe it came through a breakdown that left your soul stripped raw. Maybe it came through isolation, silence, pain, or disappointment. But somewhere along the way, you stopped seeking confirmation outside of yourself and started listening to the quiet knowing within. Now the ideas, the insights, the messages, they don't come from books or trends. They come through you. Like downloads you didn't ask for, but somehow always needed. You're strategic now, calculated but not manipulative, intentional but never controlling. You've learned how to sit with the energy before you act, and this is where your real power lies, in the space between impulse and creation. That's magician territory. You've become a master of alchemy, not by bypassing your emotions, but by moving through them with precision. You know when to be soft and when to be steel, when to listen and when to lead, when to dream and when to move. There's nothing accidental about your rise. Even if others call it luck, they weren't there for the nights you were breaking behind closed doors. They didn't see you question your entire existence and still choose to believe in a version of yourself you hadn't met yet. But that version? It's no longer a vision. It's who you are now, and it's magnetic. Your presence is starting to disturb people. And not because you're doing anything loud or dramatic. It's because your silence holds weight now. Your stillness triggers truth. Your joy exposes their resentment. Your clarity reveals their confusion. You've become a walking reflection of everything they've denied in themselves. And that's what real magic does. It doesn't just inspire, it stirs, it shakes, it disrupts. You've tapped into the ability to command energy, not by force, but by frequency. And here's the part most people miss. You didn't just master your mind, you re-entered your body. You stopped escaping into spiritual highs and started anchoring into physical presence. You realized you can't bring a vision into this world if you're floating above it all the time. So you began the descent into the bones, the breath, the hunger, the muscle, the rhythm of being here. You started stretching, moving, dancing, feeling, grounding. And in that grounding, you unlocked a whole new form of magic. Not the kind that looks impressive, the kind that works. You began pulling ideas down from the crown and into the root, into action, into form. You became someone who doesn't just know what's possible, you make it happen. And while others are still asking the question, how, you've become the answer that walks into the room. You don't need approval, you don't need to be louder, you just need to stay aligned. Because the reality is, you didn't come here to impress people. You came here to build what others said was impossible. And now, it's time to stop delaying. Stop doubting. Stop shrinking your abilities to make other people comfortable. You've been training long enough. And whether you realize it or not, you're already holding the wand, not to perform tricks, but to rebuild reality. And you're ready for it. So here's the real challenge now. Can you hold your power without broadcasting it? Can you manifest without explaining the method? Can you move with mastery even when no one is watching? Because the next chapter of your journey isn't about convincing anyone. It's about becoming undeniable. And that means shifting your relationship with creation itself, not hustling or forcing, but listening, letting things speak to you before you shape them, letting your body tell you when to move, instead of your fear. Because your magic doesn't live in trying harder. It lives in alignment. It lives in rhythm. It lives in the part of you that already knows what you were born to do, long before you had words for it. And lately, that part of you has been louder, hasn't it? You've been hearing things, feeling things, maybe even dreaming with more intensity. Many nights, your dreams feel like missions, conversations with your own soul, rehearsals for the life that's already waiting for you. That's not a coincidence. That's not your imagination. That's your deeper knowing, breaking through the static. It's your own energy field tuning itself for the next level. You've been receiving codes while you sleep, upgrades while you stretch, clarity while you cry. Your body is catching up to the light you already are. That's why you're feeling the pull to cleanse, to move differently, to rest more, to eat simpler, to return to the earth. Not to escape, but to root, to anchor. Because your future isn't floating above your head anymore, it's circling your feet, waiting to be planted. And this is what most people miss when they talk about manifestation. They think it's about willpower, obsession, hustle. But for you, it's always been deeper than that. It's about listening so closely to your intuition that it feels like instinct. It's about trusting the nudge before there's evidence. It's about holding the vision long enough for reality to catch up. Because your path isn't linear. It never was. You've taken the scenic route through soul fires and sacred pauses, and every detour carved more power into your presence. You didn't lose time. You gained density. Now when you speak, it lands. When you move, the energy shifts. When you decide, doors open. And you know what's even more powerful than all of that? You've stopped doubting it. You've stopped arguing with your own light. You've stopped waiting for the world to catch up. And now, you don't have to prove anything. Your energy speaks louder than words. You're vibrating on God's frequency now, and even they can feel it. You finally realized you are the rhythm, you are the moment. And whether others accept it or not, you're moving forward. Because there is something building now, quietly, relentlessly, with precision. Something real, a business, a book, a song, a relationship, a new home, a complete life shift. And it's not just an idea anymore. It's moving through your bloodstream. And the more you center into your own body, the more clearly you'll feel it taking shape. So go there. Trust your posture. Trust your cravings. Trust the tingles in your fingers when you're onto something. Trust the wave of resistance when you know something's too small for you. Trust the sensation in your gut when you're around someone who drains your magic instead of mirrors it. This body you're in, it's a compass. And it's time you stop treating it like a container and start honoring it as a collaborator. Because you're not here to escape your life. You're here to enchant it, to redesign it, to reclaim every space where you once shrank, and to declare, without apology, that you came here to create, even if they call it crazy, even if they roll their eyes or mock what they can't feel. You don't need their comprehension. You have confirmation from your guides, from your dreams, from the undeniable feeling in your chest that you're stepping into something far bigger than before. And this time, you're not second-guessing it. You're not putting your power on mute. You're not dressing it down to keep people calm. This time, you're walking in fully, unfiltered, unfolded, unapologetically aligned, because you were never meant to be the echo of someone else's magic. You came here to be the original, the proof, the evidence that miracles can take form, that sacred visions can become physical, that a life rooted in divine rhythm is not a fantasy, it's a blueprint. And you are walking it right now. So don't shrink, don't stall, don't entertain the versions of you that stopped dreaming because the world got too loud. Return. Return to the part of you that knew all along. You were never the seeker. You were always the source. And now it's time to build. You have the blueprint, the energy, the authority. You are the magician. And this reality? It's ready to be rewritten by your hands. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.